You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
How y'all doing? We are here live doing this episode in Cincinnati style, talking that music, talking that good shit. You know what I mean? What's up to everybody in the comment section? Got the likes on deck. Yes. What's up, Tasha? We are here. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all. I keep saying it's us like it's a whole bunch of people. This shit just me. I'm a one-man operation when it comes to this thing. As far as running the show. Salute to brothers like Joe Fox that when I do have ideas, graphically, I can hit him up and he can put those graphics on the paper. Or not on the paper, but onto, what do you call this? PDF, JPEG, wherever the hell this is. Salute to Joe Fox for designing the In Cincinnati Trades logo. What's up, Melanated Brown? What's up, Fred Mack? He's trying to get it to catch that dope ass intro. Yeah. That intro is dope. I appreciate that, Frozen. Yeah, music education is important because music is the highest form of expression. I appreciate the Cash App, Kevin. I appreciate the Cash App. I appreciate that. I'll Judge Joe Brown to send me a text. Love that brother, man. Salute to Judge Joe Brown. Salute to Dr. Randy Short. But yeah, music education is very important, and music is very important. That's why it was taken from us so violently and undermined. Black people never stopped loving soul music. Soul music was taken from us. I've talked to you guys plenty of times about the White Paper Report 1978, Columbia University, CBS Records, all got together to lower the vibration of black music because black music was so far ahead of anything else. They said, in their own words, If we don't do something about black music now, they're gonna own and dominate the whole industry by the year 2000. So the government used its top universities to devise a devious plan to take the music and the soul out of black music, starting with taking music out of the schools. They took music out of the schools, and then in the 80s, they replaced live instrumentation with imitation instruments, drum machines, and this other stuff. And then in the 2000s and in the 90s, they started bringing in the auto-tune. The auto-tune is different than the talk box. Zapp and Roger had the talk box. That was different. You had to actually sing into that Zapp and Roger thing. You had to, versus auto-tune, you could just talk and it'll whatever. You don't need talent for that. So all of this was done on purpose. And salute to brother Jason Black. He touched on it a little bit on his most recent broadcast. Jason Black touched on it a little bit. How black music was just so far ahead of everyone else. The government conspired to separate us from our music. So for the people that run around want to talk about conspiracy theories, this, conspiracy theories, that, oh, I don't trust conspiracy theories. Look, the thing about conspiracies are they don't need you to trust them. A conspiracy doesn't need your permission to be executed. It's going to be executed whether you like it or not. And the way I see it is it's best, in my opinion, and the way I approach things, to confront these type things. Because when you confront it with education, people then know what it is. And once people are educated, they then can do things to protect themselves psychically, mentally, and physically from what's going on. So that's why I believe in this type of education. Because without proper education, it leaves us as a people just feeling dumb, honestly. That's why you have so many confused black people running around now talking about what's wrong with us. We just need to do better. No human being is above the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect applies to all of us. What we tend to be focused on is the effect, and we very rarely look at the cause. Looking at the cause can change the effect. But looking at the cause requires an honest mind, an open mind, and an honest ear and eyes willing to see. You dig? If you look at causes as an excuse, then you're never going to learn anything. Why are we making excuses now? We just need to do better. Black people, the music is just bad. And what's wrong with us? Why is the music today so bad? We ain't singing about nothing but shooting and killing. You'd be like, well, that's because that's what the record industry funds. That record industry wants. Well, no, that's just an excuse. They could get in that studio and make a song about love. Okay, can you go to if you go to your job and your boss tells you to go left, can you just go right and keep that job, or do you gotta do what the boss says? Well, same thing with music. The rapper, the singer can sing about all they want, all the positivity and love. But it's the record industry that decides what gets songs, ultimately what songs get put on the album and what songs don't. Which brings me to the conversation we're having today about Black Americans reclaiming jazz. I went to go see my man Kamasi Washington last night at the Bowl. Salute. What's up? What's up, Star? What's up, Lady Hotep? Lady Hotep be killing me in them comment sections on 5150. What's up to everybody in here? But before we get started, we about to get into, look, black folks, we are really in live time right now. We have really reclaimed jazz. The genre of jazz is officially owned, controlled, and dominated again by a group of foundational Black American musicians, successfully merging jazz with hip hop. The prodigal son of hip hop being reunited with his mother, jazz, through a group of West Coast musicians. What's up, Poppin'? What's up, Glenn Scott? Like, anytime you hear somebody now saying that, you know, why they using Kenny G or somebody as an example for jazz, be like, look, that was the 90s. Ain't nobody been fucking with Kenny G since like 2001. Ain't nobody been, no matter. Kenny G had a shag about 10 years after shags were done. So no one's fucking with Kenny G like that. That's where Gen X fucked up. They were fucking with Kenny G. Millennials, however, man, we got the music back home with us. We got the music back home with us. And for those of you who don't know who's on the screen right here, on the screen I have saxophone great Kamasi Washington. Look him up. From right here in Los Angeles, California, Kamasi Washington. And he has a whole crew. Man, I don't know why I didn't get these pictures ready. See, I be doing these shows off the top of my head. I should be having some of this stuff ready. But as I talk, I should be popping up in my mind, and I'll be like, damn, let me get an image to go behind what I'm saying. Here we go. Here's one image. I can use this one. Because here on the West Coast, we got a group of dope musicians called the West Coast Get Down. And in the West Coast Get Down, the sound of jazz is back on the scene. Anywhere they go around the world, the shows sell out. Last night at the Hollywood Bowl was no different. The Hollywood Bowl seats 18,000 people. And I'd estimate 16,005 were there. Celebrating jazz. Celebrating our music. It was hella dope to see. It was hella dope to see. And this isn't the first time. I saw them at the Ace Hotel a couple years ago. That place, I think like 3,500. They sold out 3 shows. These brothers are going around the world selling out venues. And the cool thing about it is there's a lot of black people watching the shows. In the West Coast Get Down, you have Kamasi Washington, saxophone, Tony Austin, drums, Ronald Bruner, drums, not pictured on here, Thundercat, Grammy Award-winning artist for his 2020 album, Thundercat. Got Ryan Porter on trombone, although last night he wasn't there. He was replaced by one of my high school classmates, Lamar. I'm going to get into that. I was literally there the first day that boy picked up a trombone. Now he playing with the West Coast Get Down. We got Cameron Graves, dope ass pianist. not pictured within that same crew that's bringing jazz back to the forefront and merging it successfully with hip hop. You have Terrace Martin, and out of these brothers, yeah, Brandon Coleman, he's there in the picture. But these brothers come out of Los Angeles, the Crenshaw district. And they've been around since the late 90s, early 2000s. If you go back, Kamasi, Terrace Martin, these guys, do y'all know that the person that really put them on, that gave them their first big break, was Snoop Dogg? That's why West Coast hip hop and West Coast music is around, because here on the West, the legends fucks with the youngsters coming up. The legends didn't bounce and say, I got mine, you get yours. I'm gonna go do this new commercial over here like they be doing in other places. Out here on the West, the legends reach back to the youngsters coming up. So Snoop Dogg had these brothers out of Lock High. Kamasi went to Hamilton. Out of Jordan High, he had these young dudes on tour with him and recording live horns in his music. These brothers also came up with the whole TDE crew. Kendrick Lamar, Absol, all of them. The live sound, when you go back, because I always say the album that successfully, because a lot of artists were bringing emerging jazz and hip hop ain't new. Hip hop has always sampled the jazz sound, especially Tribe Called Quest. Then you had cats like Guru, but it really started with Roy Hargrove. Roy Hargrove was really your first. Roy Hargrove was really your first hip hop jazz guy, neo soul R&B guy. Roy Hargrove is somebody you'll hear a lot on Tribe Called Quest albums. You'll hear him a lot with Erykah Badu. Roy Hargrove is who we have to, as black folks, always, always, always give love to. Actually, I'm planning on a full broadcast on Roy Hargrove coming up pretty soon, because as black music listeners, we have to know who Roy Hargrove is. Rest in peace. He died young at the age of 49 a couple years ago. But Roy Hargrove was really the horn behind, out of New York. He's really the sound behind the early mergers of hip hop and jazz. He got things going. That sound continued through guys like Robert Glasper, and continues through Robert Glasper. But we always got to thank Roy Hargrove for what he brought to music. Roy Hargrove is a music god. So, yes, merging hip hop and jazz is nothing new. What set these guys apart here was on To Pimp a Butterfly. You know that one song by Kendrick? This dick ain't free. And he has that jazz ensemble playing in the background. That's these guys. That's Kamasi on saxophone playing that. One key member I forgot to mention, I don't know how I forgot to mention, what makes these guys so great, what makes the West Coast Get Down so great in its merger, re-merging hip-hop with jazz, one of the key components of this band, the West Coast Get Down and the Kamasi Washington sound, is none other than West Coast legend DJ Battle Cat. Yeah. You have this whole jazz ensemble up there with DJ Battle Cat. And when they did To Pimp a Butterfly, they really brought, that was the first time we saw jazz go in its purest form, merge with hip hop in its purest form. Before, when you would have jazz coming into hip hop, it would be jazz doing the hip hop 4-bar loop and not really taking off musically, sort of sticking to the program with the live jazz sound over as the dominating beat. With this crew, you got the still authentically jazz sound dominant with a talented rapper like Kendrick Lamar doing his thing on top. So there's like a whole live music movement going on right now that's not being documented properly. And I want to make sure that we document this properly, because all of the things that we say black people need to do, these brothers are doing. Terrace Martin. Terrace Martin is from the Crenshaw district, just like Nipsey. Nipsey was a part of this whole crew right here. They would get together on 43rd, even though Nipsey, 43rd and Crenshaw is a different hood to where Nipsey came from down on Sauk. They beefed them two neighborhoods. They're only about a half a mile apart, but they beefed heavy. But Nipsey would still come down to Leimert Park and jam with these dudes randomly. These brothers used to have a room up in Hollywood called the Piano Bar. Anderson .Paak would be there. This is back when Anderson .Paak went by the name Breezy Lovejoy. All this is going on in the LA music scene. The LA music scene over the last 15 years has been brewing something like Kansas City in the 1930s. Like New York City in the 1920s, like in the 1950s. Like New Orleans in the 1920s. What's going on here in LA, there's a new sound brewing that some child who's now 15 years old grew up on, and in a few years we're going to hear something new. I'm documenting this because I know music. I know music history. And when you know music history, when you know what happened before, you can see what's coming next. Like Dr. John Henry Clark says, history is a slingshot. The further you pull that slingshot back, the further that rock is going to fly. So it's a new thing going on right now here in LA. And these brothers are at the forefront. Thundercat has a sound that people around the world love, but I don't think not enough Black Americans get into. What makes these guys in the West Coast get down so great, let me tell you how one way it started. And I saw this interview with Kamasi when he interviewed with Tavis Smiley about 10 years ago. All these guys you see, Thundercat, Terrace Martin, Kamasi, Cameron Graves, Ryan Porter over there on the trombone, Miles Austin. I call Miles Austin. Miles Austin's the basketball player. I'm drawing a goddamn blank. Not Tony Austin. That's the drummer. The brother over here, y'all see with the glasses on and the beret. He's always in some militant shit. I'm drawing a goddamn blank. I know that dude's name. I got his album. God damn it. Miles Mosley, that's his name. Miles Mosley. They all got together, split their money up, and rented out the studio for 30 days. And in that 30 days, they all played on each other's album. Live instrumentation. What you saw here at the time, these brothers were in their early 30s, late 20s, depending on, that was the range. Some were in their late 20s, others were in their early 30s. They exercise the powernomics principles Dr. Claude Anderson speaks on. They did everything that self-hating Negroes run around saying, well, black folks need to do. These brothers did it. They were successful touring and recording for Dr. Dre, DJ Quick. All your West Coast producers have been using these guys underneath their sound for the last 20 years. You may or may not have known that. But the brothers you see pictured here, from Nipsey Hussle to Kendrick to Dre to Snoop to Quick to Game to anybody in TDE, these were the guys underneath the sound. So what they did was they pulled all of their money together, and without permission of any record label, they all recorded their own album. They didn't have egos and say, I'm going to play on this and I'm not going to play on his. No. These brothers recorded on their own album, and they gave everyone else's album the energy and love in the music that they would give their own music. They did exactly what we say we need to do. And out of that effort came a lot of great music, but the most groundbreaking was probably Kamasi Washington's album, The Epic. The Epic was if it was still on CDs, a 3-disc album. 3 hours long. 173 minutes to be exact. This music changed the course of jazz, in my opinion, forever. You had, not only did you have these guys you see pictured, you had a full choir and a full orchestra and DJ Battle Cat. 100 motherfuckers on stage singing and playing some of the most beautiful music you've ever heard. See, when foundational Black Americans bet on ourselves and work together, we win. These brothers are winning right now because when they were coming up, they didn't have ego saying, I'm going to be better than you. I'm going to be better than you. I'm this. Thundercat could have easily said, hey, I'm the first one to release the album. What these bum ass niggas doing? He could have easily done that. But no, that's not what happened. He inspired everyone else to put their albums together, and they did it. And now the world is recognizing the greatness of these guys. I'm doing this broadcast today in part because I want to bring awareness, more awareness to Black Americans as to what's going on. When you go to a Kamasi Washington concert, a Thundercat concert, Miles Mosley, any of these guys, you're going to see a bunch of Asians, a bunch of white folks, a bunch of Indians, and you will see a bunch of black people too. But I would like to see more of us. Because the only way we're going to protect our music is if we purchase tickets to see these people when they come. The only way we're going to keep and reclaiming our music is if we buy their albums. I hear so many black people say jazz is complicated. It's too much noise. I don't hear what's going on. Let me tell you something about jazz. Yes, it can be an acquired taste, but jazz is your Black American experience emoted through instrument. All jazz needs is your willing ear. Turn your mind off. Let the music take control. And if you allow yourself that freedom, you'll then tune into the vibration of jazz music. There's a reason why the government went through the steps it went through to separate black people from live instrumentation and our sound. And that's because that sound speaks to us. It heals us. It goes directly to our subconscious and it raises our vibration. That sound heals us. And if you're spending all day listening to fake instruments, if you're spending all day listening to auto-tune, you're not receiving the healing effects of music. You're harming your ears. I'm not dissing those other forms of music. Listen to it if that's what you feel. But you need that balance. And we have to get back into the sounds that we created. Jazz is the world's new classical music. And they got us feeling like only thing we can do is shake our booties to Cardi B and Lizzo. They make you think you need this rhino looking motherfucking Lizzo to play a flute for you to listen. You know who played the flute last night in this band? Ricky Washington, Kamasi Washington's father. That's what's dope about this band. Not only do you have the young millennials that make up the key core component of the band, Kamasi brought along his dad. It's so beautiful to see a black man and his father on stage touring the world. And it's super good because Ricky Washington, that's my dog right there. When I used to play the drums in my church, Ricky would sometimes come and play the horn with us. And every now and again, Kamasi would come through. This back when Kamasi was in high school at Hamilton High. We both were in high school and he came through my church a couple times to play. So it's so beautiful to see someone who you remember when they first picked up their horn, when they were new to that instrument. To see them go from there to selling out the Hollywood Bowl. Y'all know how good that feel? I'm not going to run around and say, hey, me and Kamasi was the tightest. No, I didn't really know him like that. But his uncle was the guy that played organ at my church. And his father would sometimes sit in and play the horn. And every now and again, a couple times, he came through and played. So to see that brother go from that to where he is right now, that's what I'm talking about. Barry Smith, I'm going to time you out if you come in with that confrontational stuff. We ain't here talking about who the best of all time, what this coast is doing. We ain't here to talk about all that. We're here to talk about what's going on right now. And if I see a similar movement coming out of New York, I promise you I'll report on that. If I see a similar movement coming out of New Orleans, Kansas City, Atlanta, Vegas, anywhere in the world, I will report on it. But right now, I see a movement that's happening here in Los Angeles. A movement that's been going on for about 20 years now. That's been bubbling under the surface for about 20 years. That over the last 3 or 4 years has exploded on the world. I mean, exploded on the world. Yeah, LRSB, K-Jazz is my favorite station, 88.1. That's my favorite radio station. My only problem with K-Jazz is they play all black American music, but they ain't got no foundational black American DJs. I can't stand that. I still listen, but K-Jazz, if you listen to K-Jazz, y'all need somebody like me to DJ because I don't like the fact that you only play black music and jazz is black music. All the forms of music you play is black. I don't like the fact that you play our music, but you don't hire us to DJ our sound, K-Jazz. You listen, I've been listening for over 20 years, K-Jazz. I used to contribute to your station, K-Jazz. I only stopped contributing when I noticed, hey, there are no black DJs on this station. But jazz is black music. I don't like that, K-Jazz. Calling you out publicly. You need to hire some color. And when I say color, I mean black people rooted in the foundation of the United States of America. Both parents can trace their lineage back to the slave fields of America. Those are the people that invented jazz. Those are the people keeping jazz alive. So K-Jazz, I'm going to need you to put some of us up in there DJing. Especially if you want brothers like me to go back to contributing to your station. I used to be a monthly sustainer. Not anymore. Not until we have black DJs. Okay, K-Jazz? Back to what we're talking about. Black Americans reclaiming our sound. Reclaiming jazz. I knew when I did this program, I could have done a funny meme like I usually do and had triple the listeners. But some shows aren't about getting everybody to listen, trying to attract the largest following. Some stuff is just about the information to those who are willing. For people out there who think jazz is too complicated, that's because you haven't slowed your mind down enough to listen. Learn how to slow your mind down. Get lost in the music. Let the music speak to your soul. Let it take you. Submerge in it. Feel it. I'm going to show y'all some shit from last night. This was Make the West Coast Get Down. I'm about to show y'all some video I recorded from last night. Let me see here. We had DJ Battle Cat. Man, what's up, man? What's up with the sound? There it is. Hold on, what's up with the sound? Oh, let me get this sound right. Let me get this sound right. Here we go. No, that's not it. That's the sound of my under music. Come on, son. Hold on. Let me get this sound right so y'all can hear this music magic that went on last night. Let me see here. Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? Yeah, that was DJ Battle Cat. That was DJ Battle Cat. When's the last time you seen a DJ? If y'all heard Tariq's last broadcast when he was talking about the DJs in Uncle Jam's Army, how that's a West Coast thing. Okay, it may have been that video. Let me pull up another video. Okay, now y'all can hear, but you can't see. What the fuck? See, man, look, everything is. I tested this shit out before we started. Play full screen. We're talking. Here we go. Thundercats. Look at all them brothers on stage. These is all niggas from the Crenshaw district. You want to tell me jazz is dead? Look at all these black men on stage. Millennials and Gen X. They have the Asian brother over on keyboard because Brandon Coleman couldn't make it to this show as a backup. But this is what is going on right now under our nose. Thundercat, even though his the stuff that he releases crossover, when I met Thundercat a couple years ago at the Improv, I was out there with him and Corey. That's where Corey is after this. We be hanging out. Corey Holcomb at the Improv. A couple years ago, Thundercat came out. And Thundercat is the person that wrote If These Walls Can Talk with Kendrick Lamar. He won a Grammy for that song. Remember? If These Walls Can Talk. That was Thundercat. I call him the Charles Mingus of my generation. This is what we got going on right now musically in Black America. Something that we got to acknowledge. Let me show you this other video. Let me show you this other one. That's Problem. I don't know what the fuck Problem is wearing, brother, but shit. Problem was there. And my personal favorite part, let me see, is this it? Nah, that ain't it. for me personally, one of the parts that made me feel really good was one of my high school bandmates, somebody I've been knowing for like a long ass time, was on stage last night. My man Lamar Guillory. If y'all Facebook friends or Twitter friends with me, every now and again you might see me and him going back and forth. But it was so dope seeing Lamar there last night on stage. Because I was surprised. He didn't even let me know he was going to be playing with them. But Lamar is someone who I was literally there the first day this cat picked up a trombone. We were in band together at Westchester High School. And he was the homie's little brother. You know how niggas get when you the homie's little brother? You got to haze them little niggas. But Lamar is somebody who I can't find the video. And I don't know if I feel like looking through it right now. Is this it? No, it's not it. I can't find the video right now. Anyway, it was really dope seeing somebody who I literally remember them, their first time they picked up the instrument, and now they with the dopest motherfucking band on the planet. And the cool thing about Lamar, after Lamar left USC marching band, his first big gig was actually playing the trombone for Robin Thicke. He actually played for Robin Thicke. Oh no, that's not it. I thought that was it. That ain't it. I can't find the video. Shit, fuck it. Well, anyway, it was just really dope seeing a former classmate of mine and somebody I've kept in contact with over the years on stage. What's up, Opal? So, remember, the point of this broadcast is to let you know, no matter how the mainstream tries to pull us away from our roots, no matter how much we get reported on for doing all these other things that are non-constructive, we as black folks always find a way back to ourselves. That's just nature. You're always going to come back home. That's what that whole prodigal son story was about in the Bible. The whole story of the prodigal son, people read that, and that's the issue with church, and oftentimes is it's great stories, great messages, misinterpreted. People read that prodigal story son as something external. Well, why did he get to leave and come back and get his princely robes, and he the one that left? That's not what the prodigal son is about. The prodigal son is about you. It's about me. It's about the journey and paths in life we all take. We are both brothers in the prodigal son, and we're the father. We're everyone in the prodigal son story at some point in our lives. There's certain things inside of you and us as a group that have always been. Never left home. And then there are other times that there are certain parts of you at a certain time in your life, at a certain time in a group's evolution, that it loses its way. It leaves home. It goes through the wilderness. But at some point, you come back to your senses. And the whole point of that story is whether you stay straight the whole time or whether you deviate from the path, as long as you're willing to come back home, the blessings are going to be there as if you never left. And the father in the prodigal son story is who we are at the end of our evolution, once we've gone through that. The reason why Pops had that understanding that son had to leave and come back is because at one time in his life, he did it. As above, so below. Same shit when it comes to music. Musically, we've gone off the beaten path. We've gone off the journey. We've been misled and we took the bait overall. But who we are at our soul, who we are at our heart, has always been there and always will be there. And we as a people, we're finding our way back there. So don't get too frustrated with your brother, with your sister, when you see them off the beaten path. They'll come back. Now they may not come back this lifetime. Maybe they may need a couple more lifetimes to get it. But they'll come back. Only thing you got to worry about is your journey. Stay true to you. And during those times in your life where you get off the beaten path, where you lose your way, always understand that the path back to being who you are, to being your best self, is through self-forgiveness and self-love. The same way the father loved his son when he came back. That's an illustration of you loving yourself through your worst moments. Having a higher understanding of when you fuck up, knowing that you aren't your fuck ups. Your fuck ups are things that you did wrong, and they were warning signs to get back on the path and do the right thing. That's all a fuck up is a warning sign. Problem is when you get too guilty on your fuck ups, when you feel too bad and you stay stuck there and you don't grow. And not only do you not grow, you sit there and judge everybody else for their fuck ups. That's where you mess up right there. If you're unwilling to grow, yet sit there and judge everyone else for their lack of growth. That's where you don't want to be. And it's happening to us as a people. Us as black people, we've gotten off the beaten path in the last 60 years. But there's a movement going on right now to get us back on track. You hear Tariq talking about respect and carrying yourself with respect and honor. Brother Jason Black has had recent broadcasts on the same thing. Us enforcing our code. Thank God we still have queens like Shahrazad Ali around who's never stopped talking about these type things. Now she's back on. Now people are starting to listen to her. Thank God we've had Dr. Claude Anderson around that's never stopped talking about these things. Now the people are waking up to it. We got a lot to be proud of as a people, black folks. As much as they've been fucking with us over the last 60 years, we've had a whole government that decided to create a war on us, masked in the war on drugs. If you go back and listen to the tapes with one of Nixon's advisors, someone in the chat room remind me of the name. I'm dyslexic and I don't want to say the wrong name, but y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. Those secret tapes that was found with the Southern Strategy. Talking about we can't just say we're going to create a war on black people, so they had to call it something else. So they called it the war on drugs. The war on drugs is just a code word for the war on black people. A government that purposely took our music from us. After all that shit, we right back where the fuck we supposed to be. They ain't take nothing from us. Out of all the hell they've given us, we still here. Lee Atwater, thank you, dedication. Stay fly. Lee Atwater. See, I was about to say Barry Goldwater. I'm dyslexic as fuck. I always get Lee Atwater and Barry Goldwater mixed up. Goldwater was that motherfucker from the 60s that Hillary loved. Lee Atwater was Southern Strategy. See, I always say, I'm glad y'all said that. Thank you, chat room. Because I would have said Barry Goldwater thinking Lee Atwater. I'm dyslexic like a motherfucker. That'd be my thing. I'll be doing most of these talks off the top of my head. And that's good. That's because it's a natural talent. But the downside is when that dyslexia come in, I will mention someone totally different than who I'm thinking about. I even got the motherfucker's face in my mind. And that stupid ass sweater he be wearing. But I still am going to say Barry Goldwater instead of Lee Atwater. And when I'm talking about Barry Goldwater, I say Lee Atwater. See, when I hear Atwater, I think of Steve Atwater. Remember from the Denver Broncos? back on Madden 92. For you young niggas, John Madden football, Madden 93, Steve Atwater, Tecmo Bowl, Steve Atwater. See, you young niggas don't remember that Tecmo Bowl on the Nintendo. That was the shit. Steve Atwater used to get every interception when you use the Denver Broncos on Tecmo Bowl. And that was like, Steve Atwater was like the only, also, he was like the only nigga that could tackle Bo Jackson on Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Bowl, you can get 500 yards running in the game with Bo Jackson. Steve Atwater was the only nigga that could tackle Bo Jackson one-on-one in that game. What's up, Dev? Huh? Yeah, Tecmo Bowl. Y'all remember that? KP said, yep. What up, K? Is that KP from Houston by way of LA? What up, KP? Yeah, Madden 95 on Sega Genesis. I had Madden 95 on Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. I had Madden 95 on Super Nintendo. I had 94 on Genesis. And so, Black Americans have officially reclaimed jazz. I'm going to put more of these guys in my soul jazz mix, but I encourage you to get all of their music. Ryan Porter, Kamasi Washington, Cameron Graves, The Planetary Prince, Miles Mosley, Thundercat, Brendan Coleman. I really encourage you to get into their music because they're doing something right now that's going to be remembered 70 years from now. Kamasi Washington is going to be studied the way we study Bird, Dizzy, Davis, Coltrane. Cameron Graves is going to be studied the way we study Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, Oscar Peterson. Thundercat on that bass is going to be studied the way we study Charles Mingus, Drake's uncle, Larry Graham, Verdine White, Bootsy Collins. Tony Austin and Ronald Bruner on drums, they'll be studied the way we study Tony Williams, Max Roach. Somebody made a great point in the chat room. We reclaiming heavy metal too. You know what was dope last night? Trujillo, the bass player from Metallica. 2 members from Metallica got on stage last night and performed with the West Coast Get Down. Last night we had a successful merger of rock and roll, heavy metal, jazz, and hip hop. You have Metallica on stage with Kamasi and DJ Battlecat. Music eargasm for those who love music. You write dedication, music stimulates creativity. A creative mind can, what do you say? I'm gonna put that comment up here. A creative mind can solve problems. That's why us getting back to our music is dangerous to them. You damn right. You damn right. That comment was on point right there. That comment was on point. Take the A train, yeah. We gonna reclaim rock. You have, what's his name out there? Gary, what's that guitarist's name? Gary, what's his last name? Oh, what's that brother name? Gary, was it Gary Clark Jr. out of Austin, Texas. Go look that brother up. He's doing rock right now. He actually won a Grammy in 2020 for his album This Land. Best rock performance, best rock song. Gary Clark Jr. Look him up. We reclaiming our shit, people. We really are. But white media is not going to do a news broadcast patting us on the back. They're never going to say, hey, Negroes, congratulations. They ain't going to do that shit. What they going to do is they going to sit around and act like they don't see what the fuck is going on. That's what they going to do. They are going to sit around here and act like they don't see what's going on. I just opened up the phone lines. I want to hear what y'all think. What's going on out there? Let's talk music. I like to keep the conversation in and around music. Let's not deviate too far off that topic. I don't remember this goddamn phone number to this show, though. Some of y'all might have his number saved, especially the way y'all be calling my ass on this damn thing when I'm not on the show. What's the number to this goddamn phone? Hold on. All right, here's the number. Let me put it up on here. 323-744-7425. That is 323-744-7425. The lines are now open. Call in. What's on your mind? Let's talk music. Incense and ashtrays. Get my live drum sample packs for those of you listening. Link is in the description bar. Also get my 2 playlists, my soul jazz station and my funk soul station. I don't just talk about this music shit. I point you in the direction of where the good music is through my playlist. Download my playlist now exclusively on Spotify. My funk soul playlist and my soul, jazz, incense, and ashtrays playlist. And you also know to get my t-shirts. My t-shirts are on deck at hotepish.com/apparel. Oh, shit. Oh, man. The person just called. Call right back, man. This shit. I get one call. That's why now I remember why I stopped taking calls. This shit is giving me one ring. This shit giving me one ring. Call back. Let's see if what I changed it to works. Whoever that was, please, please, please call back. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Evelyn, and I'm calling from Kernersville, North Carolina.
What's up, Evelyn? How you doing today? What's on your mind?
I'm doing well. I'm just excited about all the fine things you brothers are doing out there in California. And I just wanted to share that with you because I try to catch you on.
Oh, what's going on? My phone just... Evelyn, is that you still there, Evelyn?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Oh, got another call that came through. Hey, oh my! I see my phone. Hold on, 1 second. 1 second, caller. 1 second. I had someone else on, and this damn thing just kicked her off. Wow! Come on, Skype. Come on, Skype. Well, anyway, caller, go ahead. What's on your mind? Sorry about that, Evelyn.
Well,
I don't know what happened, Evelyn. So call back. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah. So basically, I was I wanted to piggyback on what you said about Gary Clark Jr. I saw Gary Clark at the Hollywood Bowl.
Are you there too?
Yeah, I was. And you know what disappointed me the most was that I didn't see enough black people there. And I was just like, damn. Like, they don't even realize how just significant he is, to at least to my era. I'm only 32 years old.
Uh-huh.
So we don't see a lot of black guitarists in terms of in the mainstream.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to New Orleans, if you go to certain jazz clubs and something like that, you'll see a couple black guitarists and drummers. But in the mainstream, they never show black guitarists and rock and roll in the mainstream. I mean, this society has literally made it seem like that rock and roll is a white thing. And I think that Gary Clark Jr. in particular has resurrected at least the lead guitar.
Yes, he has.
And in the black world, because he's a bad boy. And I mean, and when I first heard I think what was it, his first album that came out in 2012, I can't remember the damn. I got to go back and listen to it. I'm kind of high right now. But
Me too. Go ahead.
But when I first heard Gary Clark Jr., I was just like, damn, thank you. Because I have not, prior to that, I haven't known too many black lead guitarists, singers. I mean, in the mainstream. You know, so. You
know what's funny about that? You said you're 32. I'm 40. And I came up in the 80s. Let me tell you something. They did that by then. I remember growing up in the 80s thinking that the lead guitar was a white person's instrument. Because Prince played it, but every Michael Jackson concert, he had that woman with the big pink hair playing lead guitar. And every time you watch Saved by the Bell, it was always the white boys playing the air guitar. With that movie Back to the Future, there's that one scene where they rip off Chuck Berry. They make it seem as if Michael J. Fox was the person that taught Chuck Berry how to rock and roll. little scenes like that in movies had me thinking in the 80s the lead guitar was a white person's instrument. It wasn't until I got into 70s music in the 90s that I was like, hold on. Not only is this our instrument, this shit was our instrument the year before I was born.
But even that, if you go back to the 1950s and the blues era, and when the electric guitar finally became into fruition, Buddy Guy and
Muddy Waters, Bo Diddley,
Muddy Waters, and Willie Dixon, and so many others, and Lightning Hopkins. They were all lead guitarists, and I'm all like, damn.
Yep.
How come we never learned about these folks? And then when I saw Gary Clark Jr., I was just like, okay, there's got to be more guitarists like him, though. He can't be the only one. I mean, there has to be other lead guitarists out there, and even like Fishbone. I don't know if you listen to heavy metal, but Fishbone, Year of the Dragon, those are black heavy metal bands that people don't know about.
I'll tell you some. I'll give you a couple. My man Charlie Burrell.
Okay.
He's on the soul side of the game, but he's a dope lead guitarist. He plays guitar on the road with Raphael Sadiq. But he's also written on a lot of Grammy Award-winning songs. He's played the guitar on a lot of your soul stuff. Over the last 20 years, a lot of that was Charlie Burrell playing the lead guitar behind. And also Jarvis Mosey. If you go back on this channel on my Incense and Ashtrays, I'm about to put together my Incense and Ashtrays stuff. That's music. I'm actually about to create another channel on this channel so you guys can go directly and distinct between my music talk and my news talk. But if you go back to an earlier interview I did back in March, there's a brother named Jarvis Mosey, J-Mo. He's won Grammys with Anderson .Paak. He wrote Give You the Best of Me by Anthony Hamilton. He wrote a lot of stuff with Jill Scott. He's a dope-ass guitarist. I mean, dope-ass guitarist. He has an album out right now called Waves. Called San Pedro.
Burrell.
Huh?
You said his name is Charlie Burrell.
Charlie Burrell, and the other one, Jarvis Mosey. Jairus.
Okay. I got to look these brothers.
They some dope-ass league. And Jarvis Mosey, he used, if you go back to that interview, he talks about right before Prince died, he was in high school and he used to be in jam sessions with Prince here in LA here in LA while he was in high school. So yeah, they're still around.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to hold you, but I want to leave you with this. I appreciate your content and I really like what you do. And I think that you in particular, people like you are bringing jazz back to the locale, to our community. It may not be a big following right now, but eventually jazz will come back to being black.
It has to, because that's the only way it's going to go forward.
Exactly. And if you listen and not to change subjects, but when you have you seen Stephen Marley live, the reggae artist?
No, actually, but I am going to go see him at the Hollywood Bowl August 1st. Okay.
Well, anyway, I listen to a lot of reggae, and I listen to a white band reggae and a lot of white bands. But when you listen to black reggae and you compare it to white people's reggae, it's not the same.
It ain't.
It's like the rhythm is off, the soul is off, and I'm all like, it's not authentic. And it's the same thing with jazz.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like when you listen to Kamasi Washington. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some badass white jazz players, no doubt.
Oh yeah, you got Lee Ritenour, you got a few, but it's
but when you compare them, it's like there is no comparison because it's like you can listen to white artists and be like, okay, that's groovy, that's nice, but when you look into black artists, it's like you turn up your nose like something stank, like damn,
yeah.
Like one of my favorite jazz musicians is Dexter Gordon, and when I listen to Dexter Gordon, I go into another world. And whereas opposed when I listen to a guy like, like Kenny G,
Yeah, I hear Kenny G. But when I'm listening to Oscar Peterson, yes.
Yeah. Oscar Peterson was dope. But the point I'm just trying to make is I'm not trying to be racist at all. But at the same time, it's just like they just don't got it. I mean, it's just jazz has got to be authentically black. Otherwise, it ain't jazz. I mean,
it has to be, man. And you're 32 years old, man. I thank you for calling, and I thank you for keeping the music alive, my brother.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what he was saying was 100% true. It's not about being racist. It's about feeling. Jazz is still soul music. That soul is born out of the soul of the foundational Black American experience. Now, that's not to say all white musicians can't get it. Y'all, Lord knows, my favorite jazz, one of my favorite jazz artists is Chick Corea. Rest in peace. I was at Catalina Bar and Grill this past Saturday, listening to Larry Dunn play bossa nova with this group, and they played some Chick Corea. Y'all know I love Chick Corea. So there are white musicians who can do it. It's not about being racist, but it is about black folks having the soul for the sound. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from? Oh, hello? Caller, can you turn your radio off in the background or turn the sound down?
Oh, turn my volume down.
Yeah, turn your volume down.
Okay. So you can hear me, Brother Dwan?
I hear you, brother, now. What's up?
Hey, how you doing, sir? For keeping it music, first I want to talk about the music you present on your shows and that you guys present on Craig Facts. It seems like you guys got a sweet culture out there in the West Coast. I just want to acknowledge that. And when you talk about the live band, I've noticed over the last 20 years, merging jazz or live band with hip hop. I'm from Western New York. This is Niagara Falls calling in the house again.
Okay, that's what's up.
And what's up, sir? So in Western New York, I know there would be little in the poetry sector. In the poetry sector, there would also be some hip hop with live band sector. I moved down to Orlando, and I would see pockets in the same sector. I moved to Raleigh, and I would see pockets in the same sector of hip-hop merging with live band. But I would, just like the last caller, noting that there wasn't a lot of black people in the crowd at the event you were at, it seems to be a disconnect of, the black culture being able to connect with that high-quality music. It seems like the dumbed-down keep our attention aimed at dumber music.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And I guess I just want to see what you have to say about that, sir.
That's an interesting perspective you give, because I thank you for letting me know what's going on locally. And for those of you out there listening, I love to know what's going on locally. I'm giving you guys LA because LA is where I was born and raised. But I'm not in no way, shape, or form trying to say LA is better than anybody, because we are foundational Black Americans. And wherever you are in this country, I see you as all the same. So when I hear brothers like you calling and telling me what's going on, is much appreciated. So the way I see it is, us as a culture, we tend to be the kind of people who create shit and move on. But part of the reason why we created and move on is because our experience in this country, we haven't been able to hold on to anything. So in some ways, we've allowed them to push us along forward. What we need to do to stop that is to, one, show appreciation ourselves, play the music around the children, and be open with the children. The problem, one reason why there's a disconnect between what older people like and what the youngsters like oftentimes is, my generation's guilty of this, the generations older than me are guilty of this. The older generation want to come around and shit on the young guys. See, look, my music is better. Your music ain't shit. What's that you listening to? See, here we got live instrumentation. We got this. We got that. So when kids hear that, they kind of get in their mindset, man, well, fuck you. And they become resistant. So we go from, it would be better off if they were just neutral, didn't care. But oftentimes the older generation breeds resistance into the younger generation by how confrontational the older generation addresses the younger generation's music. That's one thing that we need to get rid of.
I would sprinkle a little bit of the single mother man-hating spirit also playing a part in that chemistry that you just pointed out as well.
Here's the reason why I can't blame that. Because when you go back into the 1950s, and when you go back to when Charlie Parker was bringing in bebop out of Kansas City in the 1930s, people who were more into Louis Armstrong style trumpet was like, who the fuck is this Dizzy Gillespie and Bird? What's this fast bop shit? And it was a whole generational divide. And the same thing happened when Coltrane brought the avant-garde style jazz in. There was a disconnect and a fight between his style of jazz and people who like swing. Same thing would happen when rock and roll came in. Same thing happened when funk came in. So this goes back. This is something that we've been dealing with generationally for at least 100 years as black people. So that's something that we as a people can stop. I always say, because this is something that I picked up on back when I was 16, because I was always into documentaries. I would watch these Ken Burns documentaries as a teenager, and I would be like, and I remember finding out about that back then, and I was thinking, damn, that's the same thing the old folks do to us. And then I'll watch another documentary on music, and you will see the same thing, and I'll be like, oh, okay, this is a behavior that we keep repeating. So I personally knew back when I was 16, 17, I said, when I become an adult, I'm not going to be that grown person that shits on the kids' music. That's not going to be me. Because I noticed it as a 16-year-old, the old folks doing it to us. So one thing that kept me turned on to 70s music, older music was, I had a father that didn't shit on what I liked. He just played what he liked and he explained it to me. And through his explanation of Smokey Robinson, Funkadelic, Earth and Fire, I was able to understand the music on a deeper level and draw my own. Because I was born in 1981. The music I love was 1976. You know what I mean? So,
I was born in
that's one
70,
thing. Wait, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was born in 71, and in the 70s is still, that strain of music is my favorite era.
So you got to be the one that explains it to the youngsters. Explain it to them. You know what I mean?
I've had several jobs working in after-school programs, and I've had like close touch with children. I've started programs to help them get into music and things like that. So I am on the explain side and the pull them up side, and I do understand that there are elders that come with just a poor angle of addressing the youth.
Yeah.
But when you have the intention, well, in my experience, let me just say it that way. In my experience, even when you have the purest intention of just being, not going too hard at them, you purposely not going too hard at them, it's still an element where it's like, I don't know, it's like they brush it off because it's not popular. You know what I mean? Because they brush it off because it's not popular.
Yeah, and you'll always have that. But as long as you explain it, everybody's not going to get it. Some people going to have to come around. It was some kids I explained it to when they were 16. I saw them 10 years later on Facebook when they were 25. They had shit that I never heard of in jazz by then. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They came back around.
Drop the seed does help, regardless if they take it at the point or not.
Yes, sir. But thanks for calling in. Thanks for calling.
Great answers. Thank you, sir.
Have a good one. It looks like I got my phone lines fixed. Whoever that was, the lady who called in earlier, please call back, or anyone else call back. It looks as if I have my phone lines fixed. Hell yeah, KP. Bobby Womack was a dope-ass guitarist. He was a dope-ass guitarist. People need to get into Bobby Womack, the poet, and not the drama. People today, anytime you hear Bobby Womack's name come up, you have people want to talk about, he was the one having sex. That ain't your business. Listen to the man's music. His personal life is his personal life. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
David from LA.
What's up, Dave?
Man, they keep biting our music. All these other cultures don't want to give us our props. It's a goddamn shame, bro. This is our shit. We invented this shit.
That's all real talk.
But that's all I wanted to say, Dwan. Stay up, my guy.
I appreciate that, brother. Thanks for calling. He right. He 100% right. This is all our music. But what we got to do as a people, we got to be the guards of our music. We got to show them how to treat us by how we treat it. We got to be gatekeepers of our music. You know, we got to be people who, when we do invite them in, we got to do like Count Basie. Count Basie didn't tell Frank Sinatra, "Oh, you're Frank Sinatra. Thank you for letting me do music." Hell no. Count Basie taxed Frank Sinatra. And he put his face on the album cover along with him. He did the same thing to Tony Bennett. Okay, you want some of this culture? You want some of this funk? You want some of this soul? Well, I own it. Don't do what a lot of these niggas do. Just give it all away to these white boys. If we gon' work with them, we better own it. Denise said, my son, 21, listen to Parliament Prince. That's right. See, the real music, our music is real. We don't even need to convince them. We just got to show it to them and explain it to them. The mind, the soul is going to attract. The soul is going to attract to what's real. They only into all this plastic shit because that's all they've ever known. Yeah. Yeah, what else y'all talking about here in the chat room? Yeah, you're right, Star. Our face must be on everything. I'm not that into Ryan Leslie's music. I appreciate his art. Yeah, KB, I hope brothers are getting paid from Bruno Mars. But I did hear, I know a few people who've done tracks for him. They say, oh yeah, you get on a Bruno Mars track, you about to get, woo! Yeah. And that's nothing. That's a good point, 2020. We got to study music. We got to get our kids back into studying music. If you want our kids, and I meant to say that when the brother called in earlier, if we want to inoculate ourselves from this bullshit that the music industry is pushing out, just teach the kids music. Because once they understand the music, they can play all that Cardi B bullshit that they want. A trained ear is going to be like, oh, that's some bullshit. I was talking to two dope music producers just last week. I'm not going to mention their names because this is how they get their money. But they do music, and they made hits with Nicki Minaj. They made hits with some of these bullshit artists that we hear out right now. And they'll tell you, I don't like this shit. This music is cheesy and it's corny. It ain't got a damn thing on what I make on my own. But it pays, so I do it. At the end of the day, brothers do got to get their money. I get it. But even the musicians putting these tracks together, they know it ain't shit. They ain't stupid. There'd be some geniuses putting these dumbed down tracks together. I'm not going to mention no names because some of these brothers make money that way, and I don't want to cut off any potential opportunities for these producers. But the producers be knowing. They be knowing. Good one. Flying Lotus. I'm glad you brought them up. Dev, I'm glad you brought up Flying Lotus. Hell yeah, I fuck with Flying Lotus. He's another one part of this movement. I saw Flying Lotus at the Bowl 2 or 3 years ago. It was Thundercat, Flying Lotus, and Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton. And they rocked that motherfucker. How can I forget Flying Lotus? Yeah. Last night, Earl Sweatshirt was there. He's part of, what's his name? What's that brother? Camp Flognog is the event he throws every year. Tyler, the Creator, him. More LA niggas. Flying Lotus is taking over that electric sound. Again, black folks reclaiming our shit. When I went to that Flying Lotus concert at the Hollywood Bowl, it was just him on one of them EDM machines and his big ass projector And it was a visual light show along with his music. Says study Sun Ra. Hell yeah, Sun Ra's and shit. Good post. Yeah, study Sun Ra. Sun Ra is one of our guides that was sent down here to show us what music really is. But brother Jason Black made a good point on his last broadcast when he said, if you want to see the most disciplined arena in black society, the most disciplined arena in black society is the black choir. You ain't gonna get no more disciplined than the black choir, even more so than sports. And I've been on both ends. I made a post recently on Facebook saying sports practice ain't got shit on music rehearsal. And I stand by that. I've been to Division I college practices. I've been to NBA. And I've never been to an actual NBA practice, but I've been to shoot-arounds. And I've had friends, I've had tons of friends that have been to tons of NBA practices. Hell, I've had to pick a few friends up from NBA practice when their car was in the shop. 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe. Rehearsal for Easter Sunday, my nigga? Easter Sunday rehearsal in church, my nigga? We talking 4-hour just band rehearsal, separate from the choir. We talking 6-hour rehearsals to get that shit right. That's where our music comes from. That's where our music was preserved. Yeah, they may not teach music in school, but they still teach it in the church. And the dopest musicians come out of the church. That's why I'm never one to say get rid of the church. The church does a lot of things great. I don't participate in what the church does anymore because the church is full of shit in so many ways. But the church can be fixed. We have too many long-standing traditions and cultures that stay alive through the church for me to want to get rid of the church. And that's another thing that makes these goddamn people talking about hip-hop was inspired through reggae that make me want to slap the shit out of anybody that says that. We weren't listening to that shit when we was creating this music. Your dopest musicians came out of the church. It was a church that taught you to keep practicing your scales until you hit that high C. Hold on one second. Listen to the music, people. Listen to the music. Hold on, y'all. My brother called me. I'm on my radio show, nigga. Talking about music. All right, I'll talk to you. No, Angela Bofield. I Try. That's the name of that song. Angela Bofield. All right. My brother calling me about a song that was in his head, trying to get me to remember the name of that song. Man, everybody be calling me when it comes to this music thing. They know I'm a music encyclopedia. That nigga can't sing for shit. Me and my brother, neither of us can sing, but we be if it's a high note, we be trying our best to hit that motherfucker. We had my wife over here cringing on the 4th of July. Me and my brother singing all them high notes from the stylistics. That was my brother calling me. He don't call me much, so I had to pick up. My brother don't call me too much, so I'm like, what the fuck this nigga want? Yeah, this is a real show. This ain't no overproduced nothing. Niggas got real lives. Niggas got real lives. A star said Reasons. Oh yeah, that song Reasons come on. Me and my brother about to try. We about to miss every single one of them high notes Villa Bailey is singing. It don't mean we ain't gonna try. Yeah, but we gonna miss every single note. We gonna miss everyone, but we gonna still sing it. The reasons bet you back Galley well. Hell yeah, Dev, I listen to Knowledge. That song, Knowledge got an album, Knowledge, No Worries. Him and Anderson .Paak. Man, that album, Knowledge, no, that album with him and Anderson .Paak, shit. I think it came out, 2016, 2017? That album is so goddamn dope. I fucks with Knowledge. Yes, if you go to my Incense and Ashtray Soul Jazz playlist, I have Knowledge in that playlist. That's right, 2020. You hit them high notes with an attitude. Own that. The reasons. Yep, we understood what they were saying. We write not just notes, it's not just words, it's the feeling. And one thing I learned real young as a young drummer. It's the feeling you look, the reason why we need live instrumentation, what do you have inside of you? What is your heart? What is your liver? What is your spleen and lungs? What are they? They're organs. That's why when someone plays the organs, your insides vibrate. That's why when you're at a funeral, the minute that organ player hits a minor scale note, you will cry. Because that's what music does. You know, the organ predates the piano. Do you know how the piano came about? When the Moors went to Spain, they were trying to teach these Europeans music. And according to Dr. Ivan Van Sertima's book, The Golden Age of the Moor, it took like 3 generations to finally teach the first white person music. But since they were so small, they couldn't play the harp. So what they did was they turned the harp on its side, put it in a box, gave it keys, the same key scale that was on the organ, and there you get the piano. Open up a grand piano. What do you see? You see a harp. The harp was brought to Moorish Spain by Ziriab. When you get knowledge, they call those what? Keys to life. Music has 7 keys. The strings, the wind, the breath. That's why string arrangements are so important in music. The drums are the beat, the heartbeat. The bass is the foundation, the ground upon which you walk. The guitar is the rhythm. Life has a rhythm, don't it? Sometimes you in a good rhythm where everything is working your way. Sometimes the rhythm is just off. You need these elements in your music. It enriches your soul. It enriches your life. This is science. You're right. Music is melanin put to scale. Harmonic. Yep. The harpsichord. Yep. Hey, fuck you, Black Wealth Matters. He said Dwan sound like bad breaks when he sing. Yeah, I do. Yeah, yep. I be sounding like bad breaks, yep. But when the moment hits you, you gotta, come on, man, I'm black. When the moment hits you, you know you gotta sing. Hey, I had such a dope moment last night, too. And this, I just had a dope musical weekend. This past Saturday, I was at Catalina Bar and Grill, my favorite jazz club in LA. And I got to meet the wonderful, the incomparable, the legendary Larry Dunn from Earth, Wind & Fire. For those of you who don't know, Larry Dunn is the soul and the heartbeat of Earth, Wind & Fire. Even Maurice White said it. Maurice White, Earth, Wind & Fire didn't really get its sound, didn't really get its groove until Larry Dunn joined the band. Listen to this. That's the song Running by Earth, Wind & Fire. Play it again. It was so dope to see Larry Dunn. See, I always gotta sing that. Man, it was so dope seeing Larry Dunn. You know, he's not with the band anymore, you know. Because what happened in music is a lot of money disputes that happened. And I guess, I don't know what happened. But I got his phone number. And hopefully pretty soon we're going to set up an interview. But man, the incomparable Larry Dunn. And then last night after the show, I should have taken pictures. But, oh, Dwan. I apologize to y'all. But sometimes I'll be forgetting that I'm now a public figure. I don't be taking pictures of shit. I be around so many legendary people. And my wife be like, "Man, you should have took." I don't like taking pictures of these people. If I took pictures of everybody I've been around, I think my shit would be popping so much because people actually like seeing you next to people for some reason. To me, I like meeting people and moving on. I don't really like getting all up in their business. But like last night, I was in the VIP after the show. I got to talk to Thundercat again. I didn't see him in a couple years. I got to say what's up to Kamasi. I saw my old pastor from the church I was raised in last night in the VIP. That was crazy. I'm like, Bishop Stewart, hey! I hadn't seen him since I left that church. But it was good seeing him though, because even though I'm not in church anymore, I still have love, reverence, and respect for him for the things that I did get and the growth and the things that do matter that I learned from church. I'm over that bitter phase of leaving the church. So it was great to see him last night. Thank you, David Lee, for the Cash App donation. You're right, BB Games. I like just having the memories, man. I'm not big on pictures like that. You're right. So I live in the moment. I mean, I was there sitting next to Lou Gossett Jr. when the Lakers won Game 7 of the finals. Like, I was there when the Lakers were making their last playoff run with Kobe and Gasol. I had courtside box seats with Lakers owner Jeannie Buss, but I ain't got no pictures to show y'all. I was there when Michael Jordan cussed out Chameleonaire. I told that story on this. People who listen to this show regularly have heard the story plenty of times. When Michael Jordan cussed out Chameleonaire All-Star Weekend in New Orleans, 2008. Shit. I was there when Suge Knight got knocked out a couple times. Damn. I smoked a cigar with Michael Jordan once in my life. Not directly, but we was all in the same crew. But I ain't got none of them pictures. What's up, caller? Where you calling from? Oh, the caller hung up. Hey, caller called in and hung up. Call back, caller. Shit. I went and clicked answer and the motherfucker hung up. I mean, I got so many dope ass experiences and almost no pictures. Yeah, I wasn't. When I smoked with cigars with Michael Jordan, I wasn't smoking with him. It wasn't like we were sitting next to each other exchanging cigars. No. I was with people who knew Michael Jordan and his people. And we all kind of sat in the same booth for like 5 minutes as his people talked to the people that I knew. And we were all smoking cigars. And I was just ear hustling. Because when Michael Jordan's talking, you don't say nothing. You just listen. I'm not going to talk about in public what they talked about, but it was just dope to listen to Michael Jordan have a conversation. I played basketball with Magic Johnson in the 90s. Man, I've had a lot of dope-ass experiences, but no pictures to show for it hardly. And the few pictures I do have, I never really show. Because I always look back at those moments as times to reflect on. But I do be in the public eye now, so I've had a couple different image consultants and people tell me, no, Dwan, when you're doing these things, man, you need to make sure you take pictures, man. Go ahead and take pictures, man, because people be following and doing what you do, man. Take pictures. I done had like 5 or 6 people in the industry tell me I gotta take more pictures. I done been to like 5 of Bishop Don Magic Juan's players balls. Hey, that Bishop Don Magic Juan players ball, that shit be fun as hell. Pimp of the Year, Mac of the Year awards. I've been to all that shit. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, this Yvonne. Man, I'm in the chat and I'm calling from the shop, bro.
Oh, what's up, brother? Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir, bro. As they call it, Crook County. Hey, man, you spitting that real, man. I'm over here dying laughing. When you talk about the church, and how disciplined and how these black institutions, see, a lot of these people, a lot of times, a lot of people came into conscience. I ain't trying to say, bro, I'm 42. But, bro, a lot of people, they don't understand that old black, like I'm from Chicago, that old black, man, them sisters would.
Oh, you from Chicago? Oh, shit, you know then.
Yeah, yeah, I seen them beat sisters' ass. Excuse my French, bro.
But that's real.
You
Look,
said what?
if you want to see old black folks fight, miss that C flat.
Right. Hey, I put in the chat earlier about 10 minutes ago. I said, how you think the Clark sisters got so great from Detroit? Did you see that movie they had with their mama?
And that was actually a really good movie too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was some disciplined shit going on, man.
Bro. Yeah.
Yeah, if you was in the church, look, church choir rehearsal. I mean, there are times that like I'm looking at the bass player and the pianist. These dudes are really getting ready to fight because they're saying because somebody's getting the arpeggio wrong. No, you stepping up right here, not when. And these niggas is in church ready to come to blows.
But you know something though. I'm gonna share this with you, bro. And my family out there in I got a brother. He stay out there in Victorville. By you, I don't know how far is that? Victorville.
Victorville's it's on the way to Vegas. That's about an hour and a half in. On your way to Vegas.
Okay. Because he was telling me it's a little ride. So I said, me and the kids, we gonna come out. Well, I don't have no little kids. You know, my kids are grown. But anyway, bro, I got family in Pomona and Ontario. But man, I said, boy, this brother spitting knowledge. I had to call in and holler at you, bro. What you reading, man? What new book you reading on?
The new book I just got is in front of me. It's called The Ancient and Modern Britons. It's a book about the Black Moorish presence and rulership class in England back in the ancient days. It's called Ancient and Modern Britons. It's written in the 1800s, talking about black folks being the ones that set up the rules and running England, and how the dragon Moors used to come around through England, slapping the shit out them white folks, and enslaving the skilled laborers and taking their women. I was reading this shit. I was like, oh, okay.
Hey.
Oh, now I see why niggas was enslaved. We was going around fucking them up. For real.
Well, you know what? I was thinking about when I touched down out there on the land, going I think it's called Essawan. What's the name of the bookstore?
Essawan Books.
Out there in L.A.?
Yep.
Yeah, and Malik Books.
Yep.
Malik Bookstore, too.
Support both of them, man. I'm waiting on Essawan. Yep. They supposed to be getting me the relationship between Jews and Muslims from Farrakhan. I have an order in with them right now.
That, man? Bro, I'm sorry to cut you, bro. I could have got that to you. That's right here on all through the south side of the city.
See, here in LA, that book is scarce out here on the streets in LA. Like, and Amazon took it off Amazon. That book right there is scarce in LA. But man, but I already put my order in with them, so I'll be getting it pretty soon.
Okay, cool then, bro. I'll touch back down with you, man. Y'all be safe. But
all right, man.
Wish you the best with the show, brother.
All right, man. You have a good one.
All right, peace.
Peace. Yeah, us as black folks, we got that discipline when it comes to that music. Yeah. Yeah, Beethoven and Mozart were black. Look, if white folks think about this, for people who may think it's a stretch to think that Mozart and Beethoven weren't black, think about this for a second. Beethoven wrote a 45-minute long symphony during the ages they considered a 15-minute symphony too long. He added so many wrinkles and elements to the classical sound. If white people can't compose a decent R&B song like that, what makes you think they can compose a whole ass symphony and innovate symphonies? Now they can do it. Once we've done it, they can come and imitate it. They can recreate whatever foundations we already laid. But always know this, when it comes to the original foundations of symphonic music, that was the Moors bringing music into Europe. Ziryab, by way of Mesopotamia, through northern Egypt. Yeah, Beethoven the Moor. White folks they've been playing the same game. They don't change their game up, black people. We create it. They let some time go by. They throw their face on it. And if we don't preserve the history, they claim it. Yeah. Oh, it's on Amazon again? Okay, I'm going to go and look. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we talking black folks. Look, jazz is ours, man. And it ain't going nowhere. It's gonna stay ours. Jazz is gonna stay ours. It's so dope to see these brothers go from playing backup with the polyester players here in LA to playing with Snoop, Quick, TDE, Nipsey, to playing the piano bar on the corner of Selma and Cahuenga Friday nights in Hollywood. Free entry. These niggas will be jamming. They've since knocked the piano bar down and in some high-rise fucking, you know how gentrification is all over the goddamn country. Modernization. But these guys, we see these brothers at the piano bar every Friday. And every now and again, Breezy Lovejoy would join them. He's now known as Anderson .Paak. To now ruling the music world, creating a sound that will be imitated one day, but it'll never be duplicated. Yeah. Oh yeah, thank you, Star. Join my workshop coming up August 1st. How to communicate racism to children. I'm going to be discussing all these different topics and how to communicate these things to children. What we lose as black people oftentimes is we don't communicate clearly what we go through. And every generation is left to find out on their own how to confront this white supremacist racist system. Because we haven't found a way to break that down and communicate these things culturally to our children. It can be tough discussing those type things to your children because I understand as a parent, you want your children to maintain their innocence. That's why I'm here to help. I'm here to help parents in that situation who want to do more but are having tough times putting the words together on how to do more. Enroll in my webinar August 1st. Type in the discount code ONCODE, ONCODE, for $5 off registration. Enroll in that course so you can learn how to properly communicate this bullshit that we see daily to our children. The fuck? Somebody calling me. I don't know who the hell that is. But yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. And thank y'all chat room for minimizing the bullshit. Thank y'all moderators. Because today, I don't like that energy when we talking about this good dope shit. I don't like people coming in with that confrontation. Well, New York is better than this. And no, we come here. We ain't got time to talk about who's better and who's not. We just want to talk about who's doing what. My hope is, out of this movement born out of LA, I want to see this same movement happen in Chicago. I really want to see it happen in Atlanta. All those black people moving to Atlanta. We need a jazz rebirth out of you, Atlanta. There's too many black people down there for you guys only to be playing trap music. There's too many black people down there for y'all to be playing bussy popping music. Come on, Atlanta. Come on, Houston. I got to give it up for Houston because Houston got Robert Glasper. Houston blessed us with Robert Glasper. Waco, by way of Dallas, gave us Roy Hargrove. So there's some dope shit going on in Texas too. But I want to see a younger generation of Texas musicians renting out studio time with their own money, giving their contributions to jazz, and then back to hip hop. Come on, Charlotte, North Carolina. I know you brothers got soul. Come on, Baltimore. And Philadelphia, where y'all at? It's 50 years of the Philadelphia sound this year. Philadelphia International Recording is celebrating 50 years of music. We need y'all, Philadelphia, to bring that soul back. Thank you, D'Angelo. But we need the next generation of Philadelphians. Where you at, Detroit? Dayton, Ohio? Cleveland? St. Louis? We need these movements happening all across the nation. And as these movements happen, we can have a good old time arguing who your preference is. But I'm not going to sit around spending a moment demeaning one group of black creatives in favor of another. The West Coast sound is always going to be my favorite because I'm a West Coast nigga. Our music is the melodies to how we move in this town, how we cruise. You listen to Terrace Martin. Terrace Martin's music sounds like Sunday afternoon at 7 o'clock in the evening in the summertime, driving down the 10 freeway with your sunroof open or your top down. That's how LA music sounds. New York music sounds like the hustle and bustle of a subway system, of people walking fast to get to where they gotta go. The music emulates that. New Orleans sound imitates that party atmosphere of that city. The never give up spirit of New Orleans. One music ain't better than the X or worse than the next. It's just reflective of the environment. Me personally, I cannot stand New Orleans style music. I don't like New Orleans jazz. I don't like Zydeco. I hate the fucking accordion. I don't like the Hot Boys. I don't like New Orleans hip hop. But it's still great. It just ain't my cup of tea. Still great. I'm going to take this last call. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Dwan, it's Evelyn again. I'm calling from North Carolina.
I'm glad you called back. Thank you, Evelyn.
I'm glad I called back, too, because you guys are doing such amazing things as black men or original men. And I'm proud of that to see it. I watch you guys on Craig's Facts. Of course, I'm your parents' age, but I enjoy listening to what young people have to say because, like you as a social worker, I worked in the school system as a social worker. And I love working with children. And so I just wanted to say I just retired. And so I'm going to get back into volunteering, helping parents. I was a parent involvement coordinator in the school system in North Carolina. And so I'm just excited about seeing what I see on television with you and with Kwame and with Craig and how you guys are just so involved in the community. And I love that. And I love that for my children, you know. So I just want to say keep up the good work. I love incense and ashtrays. I love how you go and get the people from my generation where we really had love music and happiness and not violence, and that's sad. But it's going to get better.
It's going to get better.
I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, and I thank you too as a coordinator. Well, your set of skills as a volunteer is very necessary because you know these school systems they capitalize off parents who don't know better. So someone like you,
that's right.
If the words of your advice, your words are going to forever change the course of multiple students. Right. So keep doing what you're doing. We need you out here.
Thank you. And I will be out there more in my school district, Winston-Salem, Forsyth County. And so that they kind of gave me an early retirement because I was educating parents. But that's okay because I probably needed that early retirement so I can even do more. So I love what I do. And like I said, I work with Department of Social Services here in Forsyth County, and or I did in the school system as a parent rep. So, but I just wanted to say I'm excited to see the young people carrying the torch, and we are all going to have to be there for everyone. And I know my grammar may not be great because sometimes I get a little bit tight-tongued because I'm a little dyslexic.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So I may have that going on, but I'm brilliant, and I have that going on for a reason. It protects me from the world. It protects me from everyone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say I'm excited about the work that you all are doing, and keep up the great work. And I like that you reach back into your community and enlighten us and share things with us, because sometimes when you guys saying something on Craig Facts, or when you're saying something on your show, I listen. When you have Randy Short, my ears are all on. I think my prayer every night or my meditation is to enlighten me and show me truth and wisdom, so that I can show everybody else truth and wisdom, because we're good people and we're loving people and kind people and honest people and trustworthy people. I see some of my people out there with 3 masks on, killing themselves, and that hurt me to my heart. But I know I can't save everyone.
That's real talk. I thank you for calling in. I much appreciation, and keep doing what you do.
Thanks, Dwan, and you do the same.
Thank you.
Shout out to you. Peace.
Peace. Yeah, thank you for that call. Yeah, we as the people, man, we getting the shit back. Look, we was off our rocker for a little bit, man, but black folks, we good, man. We getting right back in it. We getting right back in pocket. We getting right back where we need to be. Salute to Miss Evelyn. Yeah, Kirk Owen, I cannot stand the accordion. Anytime I hear the accordion, I want to sock who's ever next to me. And do never stand next to me if you hear an accordion pop out playing. You hear some Steve Urkel looking nigga running around playing the accordion, I'm uppercutting the closest thing to me. I hate the accordion. And I hate that fucking washboard. New Orleans music just has instruments I don't like. But I still appreciate it. It's still genius shit. It's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. I appreciate that, Opal. And we're doing our best. We're doing our best to put the information back out there. But I'm about to get up out of here. Thank y'all for listening. And remember this. There are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up the game. My name is Dwan B. I'm out.